Hello everyone, thank you very much for tuning into this exciting episode. Today, we're in a very casual setup, laid-back setup to discuss a forever contemporary topic, leadership. And with me, I have Demos Group Management Committee sitting here to share their views on this amazing topic called leadership. First up, let me introduce to you our Executive Director and CHRO, Ms. Dilrukshi Kurukula Surya. Up next, the head or the COO of our agribusinesses, Mr. Priyanga Dematava. COO of our retail arm, Mr. Rakita Gunasekara, and of course the COO of our automotive engineering solutions, Mr. Mahesh Karunaratne. Thank you so much to all of you for joining into today's show.
Thank you.
So this is how it's going to work. I'm going to ask questions, 2 questions each from all our panelists, and they will draw the questions themselves. And they will share the view to each of these questions that they pick up. And to identify who will answer the first question, I will draw a lot and find out whose name comes up so that they will be the one answering the first question. Guess what? It's going to be Priyanga Dematava. He's going to answer the first question. Here you go, Mr. Priyanga. Pick up a question for me and then we can get going. So here's the first question of the day. How do you identify the expectations, aspirations, and demands of your team to build impactful teams?
When I'm working and also when I'm dealing with my team, definitely it should be impactful. Normally, I am having regular one-on-one meetings with my team members. When you are working with a team, so you have to get independently what they feel about their role. It's inclusive decision making is another area. So all the team members working with me, they should feel that they are engaged, they are valued, they have a voice like. And also actually making an impactful team it's not a one-time thing. So you have to always, it's like a process. So when it is becoming a process, so you have to monitor it, you have to evaluate it, you have to understand the plan outcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Priyanka. I think absolutely lovely. I'm going to move on to my second question and Dilrukshi will be answering that. She's going to pick a question herself. I can give that question to me. Dilrukshi, I can read it for you maybe. You would like to take a peep at it. All right, interesting one. Looks like it's to do with generational diversity. Dilrukshi, here's your question. How do you manage and leverage generational diversity as a leader? Something that leaders have to think a lot these days.
Yes, Ajmal, I think it's a good question. I think we deal with this every day. At the moment, we have 4 generations in the workforce. Baby boomers, Gen X, Y, and Z. These are all individuals born in different times. But at times, I feel that this is very much overrated. So each of these groups or the generations have their own advantages, or they bring a lot of competencies to the table, different aspects, different characteristics. So the challenge is how we leverage their capacities. But it's very important that you include everyone in the workforce. As you see now, Z generation is entering the workforce. They are already there very much. Y is there. Why they are different is mainly because of their tech savviness, right? So they like to work on their own. They're independent, but they are a lost group, I would say. They need a lot of guidance.
And mentoring, maybe.
Mentoring, because there are a lot of expectations from them. Now, baby boomers, they are like, they have certain characteristics because they come after World War II. There were a lot of uncertainties. So the main thing in their life after getting into the workforce was stability. So for most of baby boomers, their employment was for life. So they tried to be in a job until they retire. So I think one of the main characteristics that we can see or we can observe in baby boomers is loyalty. Not so in the generations, definitely not in Z and Y generation, because there are different types of jobs. Baby boomers, like, in the other hand, they have limited competencies, but there's a lot of tacit knowledge with the experience. So we need to leverage this tacit knowledge in the organizations that will help the young kids, Y generation and Z generations. At the same time, X is like, X generation is more on both sides. So they can navigate to, they are quite loyal because they come from baby boomer parents. So there's certain values inculcated in them. As I see, this is my views actually. And then, and also they were in a time where they can also develop tech savviness. So it's very important we observe, identify, include all these 4 generations and get the best out of them. The leadership has to be very flexible because more often if it is baby boomers or X generation in these leadership roles, they try to deal with these young generations in the same way that they did with earlier generations. I think this we have to understand very, very well and deal with these differently. But having said all of that, I still say these are individuals. So they can be mentored, trained and directed towards the best interest of the company.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Absolutely lovely. If leaders become flexible, I think that group becomes a really friendly one too. All right, then I move on to Rakita, who's the COO of our retail arm. He's going to pick the question that he will answer first. And yeah, ready for you, Rakita?
Yep, sure.
This is about keeping your teams energized and inspired. I know you have a big team out there and you're doing some great job with them. What's your secret to keeping your team energized and inspired?
The most important thing is, see, in a corporate setup, there's a common goal, right? So individual aspirations might be different. So you need to bridge the two. So first of all, you need to be very clear with the corporate goal. So in terms of my area for retail, within that corporate goal for retail, we have a particular goal. So everyone should be absolutely clear with that, right? And then you need to engage with them, right? That's where you basically start understanding their aspirations. I think Priyanka and Dilukshi also touch on that. And be very honest in expressing what you believe in, right? So then you start see that they also engage with your views. And then again, in terms of reward and recognition, so that's why I said you need to start celebrating wins. It can be even a small thing, right? You start celebrating it. So with all this, you can see people being engaged, the teams being engaged, and then you navigate towards that common goal.
So to finish off the first round of questions, I have Mahesh Karunaratne, who is going to pick his question. And I give it a loud read out to everyone. What does leadership mean to you? What a question on the day.
Is that an easy one or the most crucial one? I provide after sales and I give automotive engineering solutions to all the international brands that Demo handles in Sri Lanka. So I have a fairly big employee base, and like Dilrukshi mentioned, they're across several generations of. So when you drive them, you need to have few key elements. First of all, you need to basically get the engagement of your staff and inspire them to work towards a common goal and achieve a common goal or a target together. So all these 4 generations that you work with, you need to inspire them and get them to work towards them and make a win for everybody. So I think leadership, if you explain in a nutshell, It's how you inspire your team and get the entire team to work on a common goal and make an achievement. So that's how I look at leadership roles.
I mean, honestly, that is what it is, right? Thank you very much, Mahesh, for your opinion. So, second round of questions, 4 more to go. Mr. Priyanka will draw the card once again. Seems to be a difficult question to come up here. It does at the end. He's going to take a careful look at the question, then give it to me. And I'm going to read it for you. Okay, interesting one. One of the most profound questions of the day. Dilrukshi's picked on this a little while ago. How does it feel to work with Gen Z?
Actually, when I'm working with them, what I see, they are always bringing new perspectives to the table. And also, as Dilrukshi said, they are always with the technology. And also, they always need, they're actually expecting some flexibility. And also, they are not like early days, they are expecting work-life balance. And also, they are very concerned about their career growth. And therefore, as leaders, I think we have to, when we are taking decisions, so we have to very much concern on those facts. And also, what I see from Gen Z, they are very, very open for communication. So they like if you are telling them openly. And also, you have to keep in mind, and they are not afraid to ask tough questions from you, because they need clarifications. So therefore, you have to, as leaders, you have to be very clear, or you have to be black or white. So that's what they are expecting.
Thank you once again, Mr. Priyanka. Up next is Dilrukshi. She's going to pick a question and I will read it out to all of us. So we'll hear it loud and clear before she has a go with the answer.
Let me see.
Right, okay. Interesting one. What is your favorite hobby and how has that hobby helped you manage stress and maintain work-life balance?
Well, I have two main hobbies. One is physical, one is psychological or mental. So physically, I work out every day. So that is how I draw energy and I start my day. So I start my day very, very early because I have the energy in the morning and I also can generate more energy. So working out is one of my main hobbies. Not that I do like, very rigorous workout, but whatever I do gives me enough energy to get through the day. So that is physically. Then next one is very simple. I go home if I don't have anything else. Probably I'll work for about an hour. And then I will watch Netflix. And I love superhero. I superhero movies. I love fiction. I love classics, any kind of movie. So I have a very long range of interest. So I would listen to music or just watch Netflix. So that is my stress reliever.
Cool. We go to the last two questions. Rakita and Mahesh Karunaratna are left. And Rakita will pull the first question.
I will let you
take this question.
select
There's
on
only
your
two left, right? Nothing much to decide. Here we go. I pull it for Rakita. This time, and Mahesh doesn't have a choice anyway. There's only one question left after this one. But for Rakita now, when things get intense, how do you keep your cool as a leader? Now, this is a good one. Things can get difficult all the time.
Yeah.
When that happens, how do you maintain your cool?
Sure, Ajma. See, I think for anyone, right, there are tough situations. And the difficulty with the leader is that you cannot reveal it, right? Because there are a lot of people watching you, especially your team members. As a leader, you have to be very, very precise and clear on your goal, right? So you need to remind yourself that, okay, this is what I want to achieve and that I can achieve it, right? So when things are tough, you should not delve in that situation, right? So, I mean, telling it through experience, you take a step back, right? Step back and give a little bit of time and then rethink and come back. So when you come back, you see that you come up with new ideas and you can get it through, right? So that's why I said this through experience, right? Then you basically kind of move on with things. So so the best way is that you'll be absolutely clear with your objective, goal, right? When things are tough, you need to remind yourself that you can get through it. Take a step back, come fresh, and start moving through. So then you get confidence, and then that experience can take you quite a long way. So the best way is to handle a stressful, intense situation is like that. Be clear with your goal, right? When tough situations are there, to remind yourself you can do it. Take a step back, come back with new ideas, execute. Once you get that win, that gives you a big boost.
Take a good breather, chill out a bit, come back, and then take a look at it. You see it very fresh. Mahesh Karunaratne, last question coming up in this segment, in the second round, and here is your question. Can you share an experience related to managing team conflicts? Again, difficult situations once again. How do you manage conflicts? What lessons can you share with us?
Yeah, so if I take example and relate it to my day-to-day work, like I explained earlier, we provide the after-sales and the engineering solutions for all the brands. So day-to-day basis, for an example, when you buy a car, if you take a Mercedes that we sell, the customer who purchases a car comes with a very happy experience to buy the new car. But when he has a problem, he comes back to the workshop in a different, with a different view, with a different experience altogether. So giving solutions to that is a very difficult task. So when you work with different generations of staff to give solutions as such, obviously you tend to have conflicts within the teams very often. Different views, different thinking, how you look at the issue. So I think there are three things which you need to consider when you take a decision as such. Mostly, there are three angles to look at. First of all, you need to ensure that you give a solution to the customer. End of the day, customer is the person who pays us to run the operation. Second thing is you need to ensure that your staff is looked after. Third thing is you have to look at the company's perspective. So if you consider these three elements and give priority to the customer while looking after your staff, I think the rest will fall in place. If your staff is happy, they will obviously give a better service to the customer, which in return ensure continuity. So I think if you consider these three factors in any situation, when you give solutions, when you need to take decisions to give solutions, I think will give you fruitful results.
We have one last question to finish off, and that will be a question that I'm going to throw at all our panelists. Very quick one. I need your answer in about 30 seconds or less. Maybe keep it very short. The question itself is a one of that nature. This is to young leaders. Start with Mr. Priyanka, then go around the table. What message can you give to young leaders or those who aspire and have big plans for leadership in the future?
I have a very simple message. So we all know the positions it's very temporary. And if you take your rank, your title, those are very limited. So, and also only thing that people will, or your team members will remember how you treat them. It is not showing off your superpowers to your team members. And it is how you can discover superpowers of your team members. That is my message.
Thanks, Mr. Priyanka. Lovely. Diluk, shall come to you. Same question. What message do you have for inspiring young leaders?
It's very simple. As Priyanka also mentioned, leadership is not a position, right? It is assumed. But in order to become a good leader, I believe there are three things. I call them 3 C's. Credentials, credibility, and consistency. Very, very important, because people are being observed. So these 3 things, because in order to, direct, it's important that you have some credentials, show some competency. And then the credibility. You have to be very fair. You cannot play favorites. You have to be transparent. That is very, very important. And that has to be consistent. because you're being observed. Because otherwise you are, as a leader, give wrong messages, because people may not know where to go, because one time you give one idea, next it's different. So they need, in order to give direction and to achieve a vision, it's very important the leader becomes very, very consistent. The last one I would like to say is learn from good leaders as well as from the bad. You can learn a lot from the bad leaders.
Thank you very much, Dilruksh. Absolutely loved it. I'm going to go on to Rakita. Same question again, Rakita. Young leaders watching us today, what message do you have to inspire them if they want to become great leaders?
Be very clear with your goal, right? Absolutely important. Second thing is, see, you can have lots of thinking. If you don't put thinking into practice, it is as not good as having a thought, right? Very, very important. Today you see a lot of people have ideas, but ideas have to be put into practice. Second thing. Third thing is be honest, right? Very, very important, be honest. Fourth thing is believe in yourself, right? And the last thing is enjoy in whatever that you do, right?
Mahesh Karunaratne, last question to you. Session close, I mean the final question of the day. What is your message to the young leaders out there watching us?
Yes, Ajmal, I think much has been spoken by the previous team members. So I would like to add a few key elements as well. One is continuous learning. We live in a world which is very changing very fast. So if you want to be a leader and if you want to inspire others, your continuous learning has to be, despite whatever the level you are, it's not the end of it, because there is a whole lot happening. You need to be updated. So continuous learning is imperative. Second thing is, despite which level you are in, your core values has to be never compromised. Honesty, integrity, those are given things which you should never compromise. Third thing is, whatever the generation you are in, whatever the level you are in, embrace change. Things are happening pretty fast. Those are the real key things that I would like to add.
We've spoken a lot on today's session on leadership, about inspiration, about setting the path when it's not clear, showing the way. We've also spoken about how and what young leaders should do to remain honest to their goal and remain focused on what is happening. Though all of us come from the same organization, this setup of sitting back and casually understanding what all of you think about leadership and what young people should do to get there has been profound, has been an eye-opener for me. Thank you very much to all of you. Thanks Dilruksh, thanks Priyanka, thanks Rakita, thank you Mahesh Karunaratne for all the views, and I hope everybody who's watching the broadcast today has learned something fabulous. Thank you very much. Have yourselves a beautiful day.